your favorite NLP coach. Today is the 12th of July 2025. It's time, it's really time for a new update. I haven't shared a lot of updates because, well, there wasn't a lot of price action and I did not want to repeat myself. But most of you guys who have been following me, but also those who have been, seeing and watching my videos, they shouldn't be surprised. Many of them probably are not surprised at all. One, what I would love to mention is we had this cycle low back in 2020, November. And as you can see, guys, what do we see here? A range, a range, a range, a range, and again, and a range. What happens when things are ranging and there's no real clear structure? People are panicking, mostly because, Bitcoin was kind of uncertain in their worldview, but also altcoins were tanking. So there was a lot of capitulation going on in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranges. I've also been sharing here in this tweet that note, not just sideways chop. These ranges are actually building a lot of pressure for the next move up. So what's next for Bitcoin? Of course, nobody knows, but just based on classical TA, I would say it's somewhere here in the green box, and that's just based on very, standard TA principles. Take the distance from here to here and combine it with FIP extension. I know it's a big range. I'm not predicting, I'm not a predictor. It's just that there is a good likelihood that we'll enter this box here around 138, 151K. What happens here? If we get here, nobody knows. We could go back into this range or we could form a new range. And note how the duration of the previous range here, 252 days. And now we have, including this week, 238 days. Basically, the same duration as the previous range. So I think things are looking quite well for Bitcoin, obviously. Then we have here the Bitcoin Liquid Index, still on track. And there are actually a few things I would love to mention here is one, after the halving, it normally takes Bitcoin more or less 518 days, as you can see here, 518 days before it prints a new all-time high. We have seen it here. This was the all-time high in 2017, the all-time high in 2021. We are not there yet. We still have time. So meaning, is the 4-year cycle broken? Is it still valid? Nobody really knows, but it's definitely something I do not want to. I still take it into. There's still a possibility that we might see an extension of the 4-year cycle. Nobody knows. It's just an estimation, but the trend here is very clear. The secular trend is a very powerful uptrend. But there is one concern. Okay, I should say that the Bitcoin Liquid Index is kind of lagging, right? With, I think, a day or something. What bothers me here is this very powerful bearish divergence, double bearish divergence, I should say. There is a possibility that we're going to break out from this trend line. And then you guys should know by now that most of the beautiful price action happens when the RSI is above the 70 level. If we get a rejection here, then likely we might form a new higher low, or at least taking out these lows. Nobody knows, but for now I think it looks pretty good. I've been sharing this chart for a while as well. Where is it? A very simple chart, one horizontal line, 100K mark. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin has been hovering or trading above the 100K mark, not a single daily close, below the 100K for 67 days. People, that's not just random price action. This is real strength. Things are looking very, very good for Bitcoin. My ideal situation is continuation of this price action here. And when Bitcoin is ranging again, altcoins might go very aggressive. Or while Bitcoin is going up, altcoins could go also very aggressive. So this is Ethereum USDT chart. I've been sharing this. I've been monitoring this for a long time. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to buy the dip to trade this. It was in my plan. I had my alerts, but again, you can make as many alerts as you want. If you aren't there and you haven't automated your system, it's really impossible to trade everything that you have, planned out for yourself. This was the range. We are now trading above the range. This is the high time frame resistance level. We got rejected here a few times, as you guys can see here, here, and here. Ideally, we're gonna see continuation of this uptrend towards 4K, and I easily see Bitcoin trading around 4K in July, August, or maybe even September. But more importantly, and I think this chart is even more exciting, just for you guys to know, the blue line 21 EMA, the red line 21 EMA, 12 here, the blue, red 21. So first things first, okay? What do we see here in this price action? You could even see this on the 3-day chart. This is the first higher low structure since a long, really, a very long time. So that's very interesting to see. Secondly, we see finally a good candle above the 12 EMA at least, and we might see finally a weekly close above the 21 EMA. Last time that happened was a really long time. Where was it? It was somewhere here, but still then in the downtrend. Another thing I would love to emphasize is Bitcoin was actually in a bearish parabola, and you see that the speed, the acceleration of that parabola, that momentum increased even from here, right? All the way down, and then somewhere in April, we escaped from this parabola, which is a very good sign. This is a trend line on the RSI. We might see a confirmed RSI breakout. We need to wait for the weekly close, obviously, but as how I see it, things are looking quite good. You could also draw a trend line from here, because the parabola was extremely strong starting from here to here. As you guys can see, that this move is different than this move. This was slowly bleeding, and this was quick bleeding. And from that perspective, this is what I would call like a confirmed RSI breakout, but I rather prefer to have a breakout based on this trend line. So that looks actually very promising as well. We have the Bitcoin dominance. I've been sharing this for a long time. What we see here is also a bearish divergence, a rising wedge. It has been 441 days since the Bitcoin halving. Normally, what you would see is Bitcoin dominance topping 252 days after the halving, as you guys could see here and here. But this time is really different, very, very different, because of many different reasons. I mean, look, this is the Bitcoin that have been institutionalized through ETFs, countries, public companies, private companies. As you guys can see, 3.23 million Bitcoins have been scooped up. And as how I see it, this is a trend still going on. So I believe this number will even go up to 4 or 5 million. They have 15.41% of the total supply. I'm not even talking about circulating supply, the total supply, which is huge. We have this one here as well. This is top fiat currencies by market cap. What do we see here? We see here number 10. Bitcoin entered number 10 of the biggest currencies of this planet. On number 10. And if it continues and it goes to that green box I just mentioned here, very likely we're gonna end number 7, maybe number 8. Time will tell, but this is also a very huge milestone for Bitcoin. And again, if Bitcoin were a country, they would be the number 12 country when it comes to market cap, which is insane. I mean, Bitcoin started in 2008, and look how far it went. This is just not randomness, right? This is real adoption, real trust in the biggest, strongest network of the world, Bitcoin's network, protected by billions and billions of hash rate. Honestly, I even don't know how to measure that hash rate. I mean, a tera of hash rate. It's just incredible. But that begs the question, what about altcoins? I know there was this false notion that many of you wouldn't get rich if you would only invest in Bitcoin. I think that's a big fallacy and a very stupid one as well, because time has proven that not having exposure to Bitcoin and only to altcoins actually makes you, I don't want to say stupid, but it makes you poor. Okay, this is the Bitcoin dominance. This chart is not lying. But since we are seeing the exhaustion signals, I believe we might see a altcoin rally. But here's the but. I do not believe that this altcoin rally will be a very long-lived one. I mean, I believe this might be a very short-lived one. Duration of, let's say, 1.5 months, 6, 7, 8 weeks, more or less. I could be wrong. I hope that I'm gonna be very wrong. I would love to see a multi-month altcoin rally, but we must admit that most, the real wills, people with the real money, they rather prefer to buy Bitcoin than altcoins. And if I can go back to this one here, do not think that people behind these Bitcoins, the institutions, the countries, the ETFs, they will never ever rotate their Bitcoin into altcoins. And you see this number, 3.23 million. These Bitcoins, consider them, locked. Of course, they can sell, but never ever will they sell their Bitcoins for altcoins. It's easy as that. If you thought differently, I'm sorry for you. Of course, retail might do that, selling their Bitcoins for altcoins, but this time is very, very different. So with that said, it looks very promising here. This is the Bitcoin dominance without the stables. The same thing, a very strong exhaustion signal here. The definition of bearish divergence is just that the indicator does not confirms the price action. So we see like a weakening in the momentum, weakening in the strength here. We see this rising wedge, which is basically one of my favorite patterns. So I like what I'm seeing here. The father of all altcoins, or at least I think it's the father of all altcoins. This looks good as well, especially if you go to the weekly. Look what happens. This gray area has been marked for a long time here. We beautifully bounce from that gray area, and we might even see like a double bottom pattern here, double pattern, and it could bring us easily to 50 cents ish, more or less. So with that said, I do not want to wish to do a very lengthy one. I do believe things are going quite well for Bitcoin, even if we tap back into this high time frame resistance, it's still very good. But again, we also know that once Bitcoin makes that breakout, it often doesn't give us a very good entry. If you missed out this zone, this entry, then I think there's a small chance that it will dip back here so you can buy. I mean, if it breaks out aggressively and quickly. As you guys can see, horizontal price action, very slow. Vertical price action, very quick and aggressive. Hope you enjoyed this video. Smash that like button. Until the next time, see you around, legends.